Vitzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay. You were about to read something. Don't do it.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Thank you, Romain. Okay. Okay, those are the little Bensvies. You can go with Morgana and Jody, or stay, or go. Thank you. Uri, you stay. Ella, you go with them. Cheers, see you later. (126). At the bottom, we find the poem Shabbat HaMalkah by Chaim Nachman Bialik. And I'd like to start from the English and then share with you a little bit about the Hebrew. So let's start with the English, 126. It's translation of Shabbat, the Queen poem by Chaim Nachman Bialik. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Shabbat, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near and here abide. Draw near, O Shabbat bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. And what interesting to note about the Hebrew, as Bialik was writing in Ashkenazi dialect pronunciation, modern Hebrew is spoken in the Sephardi pronunciation. So it sounds like this. החמה מראש האילנות נסתלקה, בואו ונצא לקראת שבת המלכה, הנה היא יורדת הקדושה הברוכה, ואימא מלאך עם צבא שלום ומנוחה, בואי המלכה, בואי הכלה, שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום. The punct is on the second syllable from the end, not on the last syllable from the end. 130, come, let us sing joyously to God. Lechu neranena laAdonai.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena laAdonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena laAdonai. Naria, letzo yishenu nekadma panav betoda. Naria, letzo yishenu bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena laAdonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena laAdonai.
131 at the top. In God's hands are the depths of the earth, the peaks of the mountains are God's. God is the sea and God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before God our Maker. For the Eternal One is our God, and we are the people God tends the flock in God's care. Oh, if you would but heed God's charge this day. Psalm 96. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בשרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, איי כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים באדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו. יעלוז שרי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו. היי 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 $134 out of Psalm 98. Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. Sing praise to God with the lyre and the melodious songs. With the trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout before God, the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands and the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. 135. Adonai malach yirgezu amim, yoshev keruvim tanut haaretz. Adonai betzion gadol veramhu al kol ha'amim. Yodu shimcha gadol venora kadosh hu. Ve'oz melech mishpat ahev. אתה כוננת מישרים, משפט וצדקה ביעקב אתה עשית. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להדום רגליו קדוש הוא. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. I'm in page 137. We conclude that sequence. The voice of the Eternal One kindles flames of fire. The voice of God convulses the wilderness. The Eternal One convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of God causes him to carve and strips forest bare, while in God's temple all say glory. The Eternal One sat enthroned at the flood. The Eternal One sat enthroned, sovereign forever. May God grant strength to our people. May God grant our people peace. Adonai oz לעמו ייתן. Adonai יברך את עמו בשלום. I'm going over my documents these days, so again looking at quite a lot of translations of poetry Mel Williams and myself have walked through during these years, and I'd like to share with you this poem by Natan Yonatan that we translated. It's called At the End of the Road, as my intention for this Shabbat. In every place there is a chasm for the bold, and a shade for the weary, and a fountain pouring out coolness. In every dawn there is a dew for those who tremble, and a light for those who love, and cold stones and wild grass. In every sunset there is an end for the storm-driven, and a tree for the childless, and a rock for those who lie down at the end of the path. The end of the path, the end of the road, by Natan Yonatan. I invite us all to let this week now, to put it to rest, and be ready for the Shabbat, and be ready for what is it that we would like to summon for ourselves, for the joy, the hours of family and friends and renewal, and put all the tasks aside. Surely they will wait there for you at the other side of the Shabbat. May God grant strength to our people. May God grant our people peace. Come in. It's okay. It's okay.
I like Nigla, Lechadodi.
straight to 140, Psalm 92, a psalm, a song for the Shabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, Shabbat, tov leodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Ki simachtani b'ma'aseh yadecha Shabbat, tov leodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha.
Like a cedar in Lebanon planted in the Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's court. In old age, they still produce fruit. They're full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. Tzadik katamar ifrach.
Tzadik katamar ifrach, keretz balvonon yaska shetolim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu ad yenuvan beseva deshinim
Thanks, Lee. Thanks. Ready to the Baruch? We go to the Baruch. Chatzi Kaddish leads straight to Baruch, 144 to 146. Please rise.
Yitkarol v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ba'al ma tivarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayecha
Seated. 148, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים, בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמורותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. באור יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. 150. Everlasting love you offered you people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, law and precepts. Therefore, eternal our God, when we lie down, when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and on your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them. For they are our life and the length of our days. Never remove your love from us. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Let's recite together the Shema. 152, 153. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. 154. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children, recite them when you stay at home and when you're away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and of your gates. 155 bottom. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Who is like you, O God? 158, מי כמוך.
מי כמוך, האלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף ואלה, אוסף ואלה, מי כמוך, האלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נהדר בקודש. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, מי כמוך ואלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש.
Blessed are you, eternal one, for redeeming Israel. 161 top. The prayer for well-being, for peace. 161 top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal one, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Blessed are you, eternal one, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all of you people Israel, and over Jerusalem. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים, ועל ירושלים, ועל ירושלים. אמן.
Straight to Veshamru 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Thanks for that. Moving to the Amidah, I'd like to invite Morgan at Morgan, Ruth at Claire, not related. Yeah, come forward. We are in 164. Please rise. Give them a second to. Adonai sefadai tiftachu fi yagid tehillateh. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai. 166. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אמן. 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומכאמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. 172. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, most sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heavens and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that He has been done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God ceased from making the work of creation. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. שבענו בטובך, וטהר בשמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה ישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. רצה 174.
רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם מאהבה תקבל, ותהי לי רצון תמיד עבודת ישראל.
Seven, God of goodness, we are grateful for your many bounties, for the protecting care with which your love shelters us, for the knowledge that wherever we are in your presence. May your teaching enrich our lives and challenge us to give evidence of our devotion. May our words and our deeds hallow your name and make us worthy of your blessings. Baruch atah Adonai, tov shimcha, ulecha na'eh leodot. 178, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki oto melech adon lechol hashalom. Tasim leolam, Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בלי שלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Thank you. Done an excellent job. Thank you. It's like a prayer shawl, like a Tibetan prayer shawl. Lev tahor bra li Elohim, fashion a pure heart for me, O God, created me a steadfast spirit. Do not cast me out of your presence or take your Holy Spirit away from me. Let me again rejoice in your help, and let the vigorous spirit sustain me. As my mouth declare your praise, help me to put this praise into practice. Open up my lips and my heart, eternal God. Please, God, make us an instrument of your peace. Make us an instrument of your love. Make us an instrument of your compassion. May all our praise come to be. May those who sow in tear will reap in joy. Let's take a moment of silent meditation together, and the ensemble will collect us with Yihyu L'Ratzon in a moment or so. May all your wishes come true. רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו ונבשע. Heal us, O God, may we be healed. Save us, let us be saved. Grant full healing for all of our illness, wounds, and pain. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who heals the wounded. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion, for their health to be restored, for their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. So please mention all those you'd like to see them recuperating. All.
Karen Favors.
Gregory Jordan.
refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Thanks. Shabbat Shalom, friends. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Welcome to the people at home. This weekly parasha, Terumah, is the 7th weekly parasha in the book of Exodus, Shmot, and it opens the discussion of the detailed instruction given to Moses about how to build the tabernacle and all his vessels, and instruction how to fund it with the contributions of the children of Israel. The whole parasha is dedicated to one topic. This is actually rather rare. Usually you move between some topics. How God explained to Moses regarding the building of the tabernacle. First, it's about getting the contribution, then each and every one of the vessels and the different materials in which they need to do, very measured and very detailed in volume and in pace, what needs to happen. The Ark of the Covenant, the Kaporet, the atonement element, the cherubim, the table for presenting the sacred bread, the menorah, the mesh of the Mishkan, the beams, the parochet, the veil, the iron, the copper altar, and the fence around it. This is all described in much detail. The inner idea is that now that we are free from the bondage of Egypt, and we are in the desert, and we're walking toward the promised land, and we've been through the great moments of the revelation, and we received the Torah. Now what? It's the rest of your life. Then we build the tabernacle, and we read the description of it. Here, it's the first time that we're meeting this description, which we repeat. In the literature, we call it's a catalog, because you get a catalog of all the details, and you can see between the different descriptions. But beyond the material description is an evidence on the material culture in the ancient Near East, in the second half of the second millennium before Common Era. We're looking on the 13th to the 15th centuries before Common Era. That's on the material level. On the spiritual level, it's a bit wider question. The writing says, they shall build me a temple, so I will dwell in them. בנו לי, עשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם, so I will dwell in them. So there is an understanding or an ideal of internalization of the religious life. The tabernacle, later on the temple, is an external vessel whose aim is for the Shekhinah to dwell in the hearts of the people. And that's not some kind of over-psychological reading. This is like the biblical verse. They will build for me an altar, so I will dwell in their midst. And I would ask, how does it look in the reality when God is dwelling in our midst? So I'd like to share with you a rabbinic story. It's actually quite a sweet one for people who understand family dynamics. So Midrash Shmot Rabbah, out of the chapter 33, the master sages saying, there is a bargain that those who are selling the bargain is being sold with the bargain. When you sell it, you're being sold with it. So said HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so said God to Israel, I've sold you my Torah as if I sell you myself in that. As it says, Vayikhu li truma, let them take for me that contribution. As what does it look? As what is the metaphor? Now they're going to give the story, the parable. A king who had a single girl, a lonely girl, only one child. One of the other kings came and was about to marry her, and when he went to go to his country back and take his wife, then the first king, the father, said, this daughter that I gave you, she's my only daughter. I cannot separate myself from her. I cannot tell her, don't take her because she is your wife. Do me a favor, whatever you do, have a small room for me so I will live with you because I cannot leave my daughter alone. And so said the Kadosh Baruch Hu, God saying to Israel, I gave you the Torah. To separate myself the Torah, I cannot. To tell you don't take the Torah, I cannot. But wherever you take, wherever you go, make for me the house that I will dwell in that. So it is said, so they will make me a temple, so I will dwell in their midst. In this story, the daughter is the Torah, the father is God, and the in-law, the bridegroom, the new guy in the family, the in-law, is us, the Israelites. And God says, build for us a room in your midst, so I will always be able to dwell in you, to be part of you. Now, this is an ancient rabbinic interpretation, but I want to come back to that notion of internalization of the religious life. You can hear the existential statement, like later on in the 19th century, the Rebbe of Kotsk, I've said it several times, this proverb by Rebbe of Kotsk, 19th century, God is where you let him come in. God dwells where you let him come in. It's quite a famous statement. It's not many people know it belonged to the Rebbe of Kotsk, 19th century Poland. But it's even though there's 2,000 years between the rabbinic story and the Hasidic rabbi, they're referring to the same thing. It's your job to make the space for God to dwell. Otherwise, you can do everything. And Judaism is very performative, right? You can be obsessive compulsive about your Jewish duties from morning to evening. But is there God? Have you internalized the religious life? Otherwise, what's the point in doing all these rituals? And now the question is, what do we bring with us to our temple? What do we bring with us? What is our contribution? It's much more than money. Money is an element, but it's much more than money to our temple. So we here in Temple Emanuel, and in general, everyone bring their energy, everyone bring their special contribution, where they can assist the community, what the voice that only they can give. And in the more all Jewish context, I'd like to give an example. What do we bring with us? Cheers, Mike. Good to see you. And we'll see you again. Shabbat Shalom. Take care. It's all good. This week there was the CCAR convention in Jerusalem, conference in Jerusalem. CCAR, the Central Conference of American Rabbis. So every 7 years they do it in Israel. And they haven't done it for a long time, right? And it's together with the Israeli movement, my friends and colleagues, and the Israeli Reform Rabbinic Association. So they went to pray in the Rosh Chodesh Adar, they went to pray at the Kotel with the women of the wall. And it was for them a traumatic experience to see what people bring with them to the sacred space of the entire Jewish people. This is the relic of their temple. And the temple was destroyed because of the sinat chilam, because of the hate, unjustified hate. And they've experienced, my whole Facebook was full of that. Shoutings, pushing, swearing, and spitting. Now that's part of the Jewish experience of today. And I was talking with Rabbi David Benjamin, those who don't know, he's a friend, he's originally South African, and he was partaking in the program, and he said they were extremely traumatizing because we Israelis, we are used to it. And I told you it's good, because it's not good that we are used to it. What do you bring with you to the sacred space? What the energy that you bring? Now, I'm giving it as an example, but I wouldn't like to focus on us beating on somebody else's chest and saying, oh, these guys, they need to change, they are the problem. Let's look, what do we bring with us to this sacred place as a terumah, contribution, but again, much more than money. Money alone is not going to solve the problem. It helps. But I'm asking, what's the entity? What's the meaning spiritually, culturally, socially, and then the material culture, which is like how the temple looks like, will come out of it. Now, you look around you, you see this is Temple Emanuel, this is what we came up with, almost 70 years. Shh. I'm done in a few minutes, it's okay. And it's here because people had contributed toward it. Contributed their limb and soul and care and love, yes, and also money. But money alone will not make it. So I want to conclude this sermon, which asks the question, what are we bringing to the holy place, with a poem by Debbie Friedman, and the poem called Holy Place, and it's based on the verse in this parasha, let them build for me a temple, so I will dwell in their midst. And it goes like this. Again by Debbie Friedman. You can, it's composed, you can Google it. These are the gifts that we bring, that we may build a holy place. This is the spirit that we bring, that we may build a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of God will dwell within. These are the colors of our dreams we bring to make a holy place. These are the weaving of our lives we bring to make a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the spirit of love will dwell within. These are the prayers that we bring, that we may make a holy place. These are the visions that we seek, that we may build a holy place. Let our promise forever be strong. Let our souls rise together in song, that the Spirit of God and the Spirit of love, Shekhinah, will dwell within. Amen and amen. I'd like to read the names for the Kaddish. Okay. Dorothy Cannard, remembered by Darrell Siegel. Lyle Edelstein, remembered by Mel Williams. Tsepo Mpale, remembered by Maureen Lamekwane. Macy Novice, remembered by Lorraine Beverly Rabin. David Plitt, remembered by Judith Plitt. Helena Promnik, remembered by Alf Promnik. Martha Richman, remembered by Michael Richman. David Rutenberg, remembered by Rory Rutenberg. Ralph Seaman, remembered by Barbara John Seaman. And Ludwig Steiner, remembered by Marius Steiner. I'd like to add to that Caroline de Chasterlin, mom. Spoke with the Meisel family. I also spoke with her, and we sent her our love. And if there are any other names that you'd like to mention? Maureen Lamekwane, are you there? Maureen? Is Maureen there? I think she is. No? Okay. 598, please rise. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא עדי יברח חיבותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, אמרו אמן, יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעלם לעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר, ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תוש באחתה ונחם מטה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלבה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עשה שלום אמרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם, ואמרו אמן. Please be seated. You doing this?
Who cannot be moved by the intense spirituality and content and musicality of the service so far? It has taken me to a number of distant places, and I'd like to thank Lee and your musicians and Rabbi for the content of your sermon. I come to much more mundane things. Three things really that I would like to give some expression to. The first is a reminder of a very important outreach that we've undertaken to do, and that is the Sami project, which is at the Temple Israel Hillbrow site on the first Thursday of each month, and it begins this year on this Thursday coming. We will distribute each month from there, which we hope will reach the homeless people and the number of children that arrive every Thursday morning in order to get something. And it's a very important thing. So we're asking for 3 different varieties of food. The first is the fresh fruit and fresh whole wheat jam, peanut butter, or cheese samis. And with these samis, if you do make them, please put 2 samis, that's 4 sides of bread, in a plastic bag, a plastic sandwich bag. It makes it much easier to distribute. Boiled eggs are very popular as well and easy to do. And please drop all these at Beit Emanuel on Wednesday afternoon, and we'll take them through on Thursday morning. We'd also like you to collect non-perishable items, such as EPUB, tinned food, cooking oil, etc. And these can be dropped at any time at Beit Emanuel, where they'll be put in storage, and we'll take them on the Thursday that we go. You can also give some cash contribution to the Sami project by donating to the Sami project, so that each month we can go and buy a whole lot of things that we can distribute. Remember, we distribute them to about 300 adults and maybe 60 or 70 kids. So we do need a lot on those Thursdays, and we'd like to give them as much as possible to last for as long as possible during the month that we're there. The other item that is important, and which we always forget, are toiletries, particularly soap. And if you can buy or send soap, it doesn't have to be big bars of soap, but just a bar of soap, they are really well appreciated for people who live on the street and have to wash often in fountains, wherever they can find them. So I'm asking you all to please support that. We would love to have some volunteers on Thursdays to help distribute it. It's just an hour and a half of your time from about 9:30 to 11 at Temple Israel Hillbrow, and would make a huge difference to the burden that some people have just been carrying for the last 3 years. We can get you to Temple Israel. That's an easy issue. I'd also like to use this opportunity to remind you that in 2.5 weeks' time, we have an annual general meeting, which is our opportunity to reflect and gather ourselves and invigorate ourselves. Our crucial concern is survival, which includes rabbinical continuity. We have, with Rabbi's assurance, that he will be with us at least until August, and for which I'm very grateful and thank you. So the rabbinic search begins, and I ask all of you to kindly let us know what important attributes are in a rabbi for you, and that we should be looking for to be able to include these things in our search criteria. Please give your suggestions to me or to Leslie, Diane, or Russell. As a precaution, just in case we can't persuade Rabbi to stay for the High Holy Days, we have approached some senior rabbis to carry us through that period. The next issue is that Jews, and especially progressive Jews, are a diminishing group in South Africa. The effect of this is more threatening in progressive rather than the larger Orthodox communities. In Gauteng, we are represented by 5 separate congregations: Beit Emanuel, Beit David, Beit Israel Hillbrow, Beit Luria, and Beit Menorah. We all know and express how much we value and support our lifelong exposure to an enduring progressive Judaism. At the moment, one rabbi serves these 5 congregations. Each congregation has lost very significant numbers of people and members, and the consequent loss of sway and income is such that we all battle to offer a full range of religious, educational, communal services which have been unable, for a number of reasons, to retain, let alone grow our youth. Indeed, what excitement do we offer to a young person to put curiosity, energy, and interest into something that lives mostly in and on its past glory? So much so that I fear that many of them, and perhaps many of their generation, may be lost to any form of Judaism. All our congregations share common problems, and we have all battled, mostly unsuccessfully, in our own spaces to find solutions. Interestingly, we often come up with very similar solutions and responses, but lack the energy and finance to make a positive impact. I repeat the hard fact. It is that we are diminishing. We are not going to grow from any churn effect from the orthodoxy. There's not going to be a rush of Jews to South Africa. The stabilizing effect taking place in our communities is a retreat, not a growth. Our future here will be determined by how successfully we can demonstrate how positive and participative our Judaism is. We could engage by enthusiastically demonstrating how excitingly relevant and important it is in our lives, and how positive we can make it and take it to the communities that we live in. To do this, I think we have to change a paradigm or two. So let me ask you 2 questions. How do we hold on to and do more with what we've got? And the second, how do we remain sustainable, serving our community and continue to offer our values to a larger society? When faced with similar challenges of survival, such as reduced membership, aging members, reduced income and rising costs, business thinks of amalgamating, consolidating, being acquired or merging. And the question is, should we be engaging in similar thinking processes? The obvious answer is to find ways for ourselves with the Gauteng group to immediately begin to expand our collaborations, while at the same time protect what each individual congregation holds dear. We can each emphasize our local and discrete uniquenesses, and there are many, while at the same time all work together to promote what we all hold common and important. If we can do this and present a stronger, durable sense of progressive Jewish surety, certain of its continuation and permanence, we will define our place and will grow. I ask each of us, and this is the plea before the annual general meeting, which is why I'm making the plea now, is for please you to think of how can you engage in a process by increasing your involvement with us, from your partaking in our services, embracing our educational offerings, giving us your ideas, joining us in our communal in and out reaches, donating some of your energy, and increasing your direct participation by joining ManCom or any of its subcommittees. There is a huge well of talent and goodwill and deep commitment in our beloved community. There is the same in our sister communities. Together, we can do much. We are more than capable of shaping and securing our place here. So my final answer is, so let's all get aboard and, like Nike, just do it. Thank you.
Friends, I'm here tomorrow 9:30 with the kids. Monday, religion school, everyone are practicing their roles for Purim, including Forget Me Not, including the musician team, and the parents. We're going to have a great Purim on Monday, the 6th, starting 5:30. I promise you it's going to be shorter than last year. It's going to be well designed and well performed, both the kids and the adults, But the main attraction is not us. The main attraction is Rabbi Shimon, who, Be'ezrat Hashem, is supposed to land here next week. His ticket was ordered. He's supposed to fetch his visa from Moscow. And God willing, we'll see him and his mother here on Monday the 6th. How do you say in Judaism? Bli neder, without a vow. That's our plan, but without a vow. Okay? We're looking forward to see you. That will be the end, to see that will be the end of the one rabbi to rabbi them all. And, yeah. And what? And the Tovas on Sunday. Do you want to say something? Should I say something? Okay. Sunday, 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock, you are welcome to a happening in the garden around the Tova coffee and gift shop. Every one of the presenters, the local artists who are presenting there, will have a small stall, including Sharon and everyone else who are all other artists. So a beautiful event. I believe Judy Hodes is offering some coffee and cakes. So that's the best thing for you to do on Sunday morning when you're thinking, what should we do on a beautiful Sunday morning? Come to the market happening, the Tovas, 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock. Yeah, exactly. And then the week after is Purim. And then the day after Purim, we start the registration for the Pesach Seder meal. So this year is moving on. Any other business of the day? Good. Shalom Aleichem, and let's move to the Brucha.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Milech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Milech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Milech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Milech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Thank you, friends. All the dear people at home, I can see your names. So Shabbat Shalom, dear friends at home, I can see your names. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you. Join us for the Brucha.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom,
Thank you,
everybody.
thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Much love to all of you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.